Hello, everybody. This is Lisa Rivera. I am going to talk to you a little bit about MD TESOL, which stands for Maryland Teachers of English to Speakers of Other Languages. I am currently a member of this organization because of the field that I teach in. I am an elementary EL teacher here at Washington County, and I was once a speaker for the Maryland TESOL conference and one of their like mini conference held here in Western Maryland. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about their conference this past fall. So they had a keynote speaker and invited speakers, and uh, two of the four were male, two of the other two were female. Two the females, interesting enough, were the ones who held PhD. I was I'm always curious about the location because usually when we have these conferences, they are towards more of Eastern Maryland and here in Western Maryland. Even though our diverse population has grown immensely, they it's not as of current that they have started offering professional development and mini conferences um, to teachers here in the Western Maryland area. So this conference was held in Baltimore. The speaker seems like older white gentleman. Invited speakers, you can see diversity is represented. And what I have that highlighted. I was drawn to this speaker, of course, because he is from Puerto Rico. And uh, if I were to be bluntly honest, I don't think had not been for the unfortunate catastrophe of Hurricane Maria, uh, Puerto Rico has not been as highlighted within the educational field or the educational scenario. So I was very happy to see that one of the keynote speakers was an educator from Puerto Rico, and he has served in the Board of Ed there as a school director and an English facilitator. Um, I noticed that he has a BA and a master's, but not a PhD or an EDD. So um, that was one of my observations. Now, when I went back into the conference booklet, I wanted to highlight here are the speakers once again. I wanted to go back to the people involved in these conferences because, for example, here is Efrain Soto, that Puerto Rican presenter that I was talking to you about. Um, I was very surprised because I didn't know that Puerto Rico had a TESOL chapter. Mind you, I have not been teaching there for the past 10 years. So, and it is currently celebrating their 50th anniversary. So I found that um, interesting. So, again, highlighting the work of um, the the presenters, the speakers. They do a lot of work with this person worked with SIOP. SIOP is a model that is being introduced to Washington County Public Schools in their ESOL instruction, and she works in research. Same thing. Oh, that is not the one. Same thing with this presenter. She is also high. I noticed that they are all active in higher ed and language learning. Um, our keynote, he is actually focused on he is on the legal aspect of immigration and all that that entails, language learners here and immigrant farm work students in public schools. So his main contribution in this conference was talking about advocacy because that was the general theme of the conference. So the other thing that I wanted to bring your attention was uh, this was she received the Lifetime Achievement Award. Um, she also has her a doctorate. She also has her PhD. She is also diverse. And again, this I noticed that a lot of the presenters in this conference, majority are female. Um, my biggest concern is that even though a lot of the scholars that present here are fully immersed in research regarding language learners, um, I don't see a lot of them still immersed within the classroom. So it's challenging for me to see people talking about the needs of language learners, but they're not currently in the classrooms with these students. So that was something that I've been curious about. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about the current president of this organization. So I attended a workshop with him. He was a graduate student. It was a couple of years ago. He was a graduate student, but his presentation was specifically on Salvadorian students and, the impact of trauma in their learning. So he was actually talking to us from his experience being a secondary ESOL teacher, which I thought was super powerful because, of course, he knows what students need and what they were experiencing. He is also from El Salvador, so he knew firsthand like the problems that come across this country and what the students that come from there face. So it was very interesting to see that, and it doesn't state it here, but Luis is also a doctor. He obtained his PhD also, and now he's serving as our president. And I wanted to highlight that these people here, especially Elizabeth Phillips, since she works with us in Washington County, she is one of our middle school ESOL teachers. And just like I've partnered with her to present different things with which different topics and different presentations, she has been very key in bringing these conferences to us. So again, we have teachers that are presenting, and I consider them scholars because they are teaching from the actual classroom. They are expressing what goes on with our students based on their experience within the classroom. So for me, that's very powerful. So I wanted to touch base on that, and that is it.